Greetings. Ah, what a beautiful day. Actually, it was a weird day for me. I got hungry. I wanted lunch. Went to town for some Indian food. Parked the car. Smoke coming off. Front passenger wheel. And brake locked up again. Anyhow, I was out in the garden yesterday, and I was picking Roselle. And there's nice big hibiscus flowers in the Roselle, and I heard a bunch of noise. I looked up. I said, well, son of a gun, look at that. We had a bunch of Italian honeybees in there working the hibiscus flowers. And I don't see too many of them around here anymore. The colony decline disorder really wiped out wild bees here in Puna. And so there are not that many bees around, so I definitely will notice when I see one. Well, I didn't think too much of it, except I smiled. I said, oh good, bees in the neighborhood. Well, my garden shed over here behind me, yeah? Well, I accidentally left the door wide open. So I go running into the garden shed today to grab a tool, and I run inside and I see all these big dark insects flying around inside my shed, and I'm hearing and I go, oh man, I knew I had some rat traps and rat glue boards up on the top of the shelves. Sometimes rats will get in there and, you know, I'm thinking, oh no man, they got stuck on a glue board, they rotted, and you know, and these are blowflies. And I looked at them, I said, no, not a blowfly. I said, that's a bee or wasp form. They were moving pretty fast. It's kind of dark in there. It's a little hard to tell. So I moved more towards the doorway because I'm thinking, well, if these are wasps, I'm going to go look up some insecticide around here. And we're going to do them in because I don't want wasps in my garden shed. Anyway, I get out in the sun near the doorway, and they're outside the shed too. And well, there I can see them. And they're bees. They're plain old Italian honeybees. But I mean, there's a lot of them. And they're all around the side of my shed walls. They were under the eaves over here. You open the door, you go inside, and there's bees flying around all over. And I'm going, oh no. I kept bees for many years, and I know what this behavior is. The behavior they were exhibiting was scouts preparing to move a swarm, is what this was. The worker bees were out looking for a decent location where they could move the queen to, because currently the queen is probably up in a tree around here somewhere. I'm not sure where they sat down, but there is a swarm here. As I said, I saw them in the garden, and now I must have seen, well, maybe 100 or more bees, I guess, were around my shed. There was a good number of them, and the sound, the noise they were making, bees talk to one another, I could hear it, and I knew that sound. They're going, good house, good house. No, you're not. I don't care, I like bees, but you're not moving into my garden shed. Well, lucky for me, I caught the moment. At that moment where they were all just thinking, going, yeah, they had it all agreed with themselves that they were going to move the queen, so they were about to go back, get the rest of the swarm and move it inside my shed, when I disrupted them by closing the door. And once the door got shut, they weren't interested. They liked that nice doorway to fly through, and they're going to build the hive right on the top of the shed inside there where it stay nice and dry away from the rain, you know. And oh, we'd have had all kinds of bees and all kinds of honey, and I wouldn't have been able to use my garden shed for anything, because every time I opened the door, a swarm of bees would hit me in the face. So yeah, I wish I had a super around here. I don't. I'd catch them, you know, but I quit beekeeping years ago. I don't use added sugar in most foods. Not really very fond of bee honey anyway. If I'm going to use added sugar, my favorite is maple syrup. That goes back to when we lived in Wisconsin and I had a maple syrup grow. I also had bees. And boy, I'll tell you, we drank all the maple syrup up before we ever got to the honey. I'm not a big honey fan. My whole thing with bees is pollination. Oh, here comes Ellen. Looks like she's burning weeds. Yep. Ran out of gas. Anyway, so that's the story for the day. It was a beautiful day here in Hawaii. Aloha, hang loose.